So we go back to the start after that exciting race to the Temple Challenge Cup again for universities, and I'd like to welcome John Hill, who normally commentates for Regatta Radio, alongside me, who's an adult and beginners coach in Oxford, and he's been doing that for over 20 years. Hello, John.
Hello, Martin. Great to be here, and this time with pictures.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Amazing. Really exciting to be here.
So we're looking at, I think, one of the crews of the regatta here on the race in the Temple Challenge Cup. Furthest away, it's Oxford Brookes University. It's their B crew. Sorry, I say one of the crews of the regatta. Oxford Brookes is A crew, one of the crews of the regatta. Fastest British 8, but the B crew have shown tremendous form all year. They're at the top of your picture in the yellow on Paquebot, and closest to us, Cornell University from the USA, and it's Cornell University who have a slight lead at the moment. We're just into the first minute of the race, so anything could happen, literally, John.
Absolutely. Well, of course, Brookes has got a fantastic program. It's almost a war of attrition there, where if you survive the training program there, you're probably going to be a winner. So I mean, you got Richard Spratley and his team working their squad incredibly hard down at Wallingford, where they do most of their rowing.
You must see some of the Brookes boys rowing. I mean, what do you make of it?
Not enough. I mean, what I do know is that they almost have an American attitude of sort of working on the strength and the power and the stamina, and the technique possibly comes second or third or maybe fifth. But they certainly get the results, and obviously the way that people from Steve Williams onwards have gone on to represent GB shows that they do some good work with their athletes.
So Oxford Brookes University B crew, we've got a fair sprinkling of Oxford Brookes crews, and they're the crew we're looking at with the distinctive red, white and blue blades, and then we'll pan out to get a shot of Cornell University. Very, very close race this is. Cornell University, coached by Chris Kerber, the former American international, and it's Cornell who lead this race by half a length, and probably just coming up to the halfway mark. Do you think that's a race-winning lead, John?
No, I don't. No, absolutely no way with the athletes of this sort of standard. I mean, I appreciate that they're not going to run out of steam or anything like that, but I just feel that tactically and so on, a lot of these crews don't do that much head-to-head, side-by-side stuff. What I do find exciting about these sort of almost full bow-on shots is you can see any instability in the heads and the shoulders as they go forward, suggesting core instability and things like that. You can see how well.
Tell me about core. Tell me what is core, just so that people
It's the way that people, when they do something, like they pick something up, they have to sort of tense themselves around their tummy and things like that, just to make sure that when they move their legs, their upper body moves with their legs.
So we just saw a little shipwreck. Some of the blades caught on stroke side, either the 6-man or the 7-man from the Cornell crew. It didn't seem to upset their rhythm. If you're wondering what sides they are, well, bow side is the side nearest to us, and stroke side is the side nearest away, and kind of rowers either row on stroke side or bow side, that's guys with one blade. So that's what we're talking about.
But I'd just like to point out, just to mess people's heads about, that Cornell are being stroked from bow side. So I mean, I think the American way of saying I row port and I row starboard is in fact at least consistent.
Yeah, absolutely, and it did mess my head around, John, actually, but we're getting a great look at the Cornell crew, and at their stroke, Eric Johnson behind him, Chris Rogers with the sun hat, and of course Dan O'Neill on this very hot, scorching hot day at Henley, and they are leading Oxford Brookes B. And don't be put off by the fact it's a B crew, because this Oxford Brookes B crew will challenge and beat most university first eights in this country. That's how good the standard is. That's how good this Cornell crew is, coached by American international Chris Kerber.
And what do you think, Martin, in terms of the selection of this crew? Do you think that the best person from this crew might just get into the first boat, or are there different mixes of matching crews, or what do you think?
It's a great squad down at Brookes, because they've got the alumni that want to row in that squad. They've got the first eight guys. Talking to James Stanhope, who's in Brookes A, I mean, it's very close for selection. He's done such a good job. He had to do his turn in Brookes C last year, coming straight from Hampton School first aid. Yep. So as you say, it's so competitive to get in that Oxford Brookes A. They're in the yellow boat. They are around about a length behind Cornell. The Americans on the left of your picture with the red and white blades, Brookes with red, white and blue blades, and at the moment America has led this race.
I'm just looking at, you mentioned that little shipwreck they had earlier on the left-hand side of the boat, which we're calling stroke side. You can see how much they flick their blades out of the water, how they turn their blades almost before they've been released from the water. And that's dangerous, because if you get the timing slightly wrong, you do what happened to that guy, you catch the blade, and that way you can catch a crab, you have the thing turning upside down and falling over your head. which can be incredibly boat stopping. So I'm not convinced that this boat is a secure boat.
So as they come to the finish, it looks like the Brookes crew are surging. On the right of your picture, Oxford Brookes B are raising the rating. This is a traditional surge. Of course, Oxford Brookes won this event in 2014, their A crew, and we're coming up to the finish. There is time to do it, but they'll need to get a sprint on. Cornell just hanging on at the moment. The Americans go towards the finish in the white boat. Brookes are closing, but they're running out of water, and it's Cornell who take this race. I think as we come through to the finish line, it's very, very close, but Brookes are charging. It's going to be close on the finish. Cornell come to the finish line. Yes, it's Cornell. That is probably just a canvas, John.
Unbelievable. I think Brookes did it all right. I think they stayed in touch. I think they tried to keep the pressure on. They had the big finish, but it just wasn't quite enough at the end.
So there we see the exhaustion from the Brookes boys. Absolutely dejected. Their sprint couldn't get them through Cornell. At the top of your screen, the winners of this heat of the Temple Challenge Cup.